Hello, everyone. Welcome to Learn and Explore. Today, we are going to learn about one of the most important people in the history of science. His name is Galileo Galilei. Many people call him the father of modern science. Why? Because he changed the way humans look at the world and the universe. He asked questions, he tested ideas, and he showed that truth must come from observation and experiment, not only from tradition or authority. In this lesson, we will explore Galileo's life, his discoveries, his struggles, and his influence on the future of science. I will speak to you in very simple English so that everyone, even beginners, can follow and enjoy. So, let us begin our journey. Early life and childhood. Galileo Galilei was born a long time ago, in the year 1564, in the city of Pisa in Italy. Pisa is famous for the Leaning Tower of Pisa. And yes, later in his life, Galileo would use that very tower in one of his famous experiments. Galileo's father was Vincenzo Galilei, a musician, and his mother was Giulia Ammannati. His family was not very rich, but they valued learning and music. His father wanted Galileo to study medicine so that he could have a good career and earn money. But young Galileo was curious about many things, especially about how the world works. From a young age, Galileo showed a special interest in mathematics and nature. He loved to watch things move. One famous story says that when he was a teenager, he watched a lamp swing back and forth inside a church. He noticed that no matter how far or how little it swung, the time it took was almost the same. This was the beginning of his study of the pendulum. Education and first studies. When Galileo grew older, his father sent him to the University of Pisa to study medicine. But Galileo was not interested in becoming a doctor. Instead, he was fascinated by mathematics and physics. He secretly attended math classes, and soon his teachers and father realized that Galileo's true passion was science. Even though he did not finish his degree in medicine, Galileo began to study mathematics seriously. He learned about geometry, algebra, and astronomy. At that time, most people believed in the ideas of the ancient Greek philosopher Aristotle. Aristotle's teachings said that heavy things fall faster than light things, and that the earth is at the center of the universe. These ideas were accepted for many centuries without question. But Galileo was not satisfied with simply believing what others said. He wanted to test these ideas. Galileo as a teacher. After his studies, Galileo became a teacher. In 1589, he was offered a job as a mathematics professor at the University of Pisa. He began to teach students about mathematics and natural philosophy, which is what people called science at that time. But Galileo was not just a teacher of old ideas. He began to challenge them. For example, Aristotle had said that heavy objects fall faster than lighter ones. Galileo did not agree. To test this, it is said that Galileo climbed to the top of the Leaning Tower of Pisa and dropped two objects of different weights at the same time. According to legend, both objects hit the ground at the same time. This experiment showed that the speed of falling objects does not depend on their weight. This was a huge discovery because it went against the teachings of Aristotle. It showed that science should be based on experiments and observations, not just on the authority of old philosophers. Galileo's work in Padua. In 1592, Galileo moved to the University of Padua, where he worked as a professor for almost 18 years. These years were very important in his life, because here he made many discoveries and also earned fame as a scientist. He studied the motion of objects, the strength of materials, and the use of mathematical principles in understanding nature. He also made practical inventions. For example, he created a type of thermometer, an improved compass for measuring, and machines to help in daily work. But the most famous invention that changed Galileo's life was the telescope. The telescope and the sky. In 1609, Galileo heard that in Holland, someone had made a device that could make distant objects look closer. It was the first telescope. Galileo did not see the Dutch telescope, but he heard descriptions of it. With his great skill in mathematics and mechanics, he quickly built his own telescope and then improved it to make it much stronger. Galileo's telescope could magnify objects up to 20 times. This was a powerful tool. For the first time in human history, people could look into the sky and see details that were never seen before. What did Galileo see? He saw the mountains and craters on the moon. Before Galileo, many believed the moon was a perfect smooth sphere, because that is what Aristotle and others had taught. But Galileo showed that the moon had rough surfaces, just like the Earth. He also saw that the planet Jupiter had 4 small moons orbiting around it. This was a shocking discovery, because it showed that not everything in the sky revolves around the Earth. If Jupiter had moons moving around it, then maybe the Earth was not the center of everything. Galileo also observed the phases of Venus, which looked similar to the phases of the moon. This discovery was strong evidence for the theory of Copernicus, who had earlier said that the Sun, not the Earth, is at the center of the universe. Galileo also saw countless stars in the Milky Way, proving that the universe was far bigger than people had imagined. These discoveries made Galileo famous, but they also brought him into conflict with powerful authorities. Thank you for watching this lesson. I hope you enjoyed learning about Galileo Galilei. If you liked this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more lessons.